Has Mista not realized that he's going to be taking out these hunts?
Oh, he got that one. He's waiting.
But remember that he's run past this already.
Yeah.
And he hasn't actually taken out the deer yet.
Yeah. He's
怎么
got
办啊？
3
我
scouts,
失智
though.
了啦。
Mista.
Really? He's got that many scouts? That's a lot of scouts. Second one coming back now. First one here. Where's the third one, Dave?
It said he had 3. Oh, he probably has a pre-light. That's it. Yeah, I got you baited.
It's all right. We've all been there. We've all been there. But a little bit of a dance happening down towards this deer patch. Now, keep in mind behind this, Demuslim's going to be soaking up the other deer that are out on the map because he's going to be making plenty more scouts. He's got access to that hunting cabin in the first stage, which acts as his mill, but also acts as a pseudo stable or a pseudo town center with the ability to train scouts. So he's going to be getting those out nice and quick. We'll head over
今天的第3场，现在是第3盘。
Because typically,
今天的进度是稍微晚了一些些，因为刚刚有人打出一盘超时对
2 minutes and 50 seconds into the game.
That's great.
With a contested patch, I mean, that's pretty good.
And probably going to secure this one up as well. That's going to cross him over to 250. He's a happy camper.
Yeah, Mista just kind of attacking scout v scout there.
Yeah, interesting strategy.
Pretty indecisive.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't work out for him. So I think Mista may have forgotten he was playing against the Rus, unfortunately. But now Golden Gate going to be going down in the base of Demuslim. Nice early age up here. 312 was when it got dropped down, so pretty decent timing for him.
And what's the opening from him?
刚刚主持人说他要吃鞋子，是不是 ？Mista 赢他要吃鞋。
So typically the play in this situation would be to go into a melee composition, so I'd be looking at going spears as well as knights or horsemen.
我已经
to try and
傻
get
了
those。walls in because keep in mind the Rus walls, they are faster building, cheaper, and much more HP. Yeah, so you're looking at the 3,500, I think, if I remember correctly, up against the 1,500 of standard walls. So it is, it's definitely a good matchup for him. The question's going to be whether he's going to be able to get those walls up or not.
Yeah. Also, worth pointing out, Demuslim, relatively the same heartbeat as the Mista through the last 2 games, and then we go into this one elevated.
Yeah, look at that heartbeat right now, sitting about 40 BPM higher.
I love having that here.
I really do too.
Something else.
Yeah,
to it.
I think we're going to have to make it compulsory. Everybody starts wearing these.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It gives us talking points when nothing else is really happening.
Well,
if nothing
exactly
else,
it,
you know.
right?
And as a caster, I appreciate that, honestly.
But now we see the Archon Chapel going up for the Mista as well. We'll take a look at the positioning of it and see how well he's doing. So he's got the gold mine, he's got the berries, he's got his town center, and he's got a little bit of the wood line, but not a whole lot of it. Doesn't get too much of a juicy one, but it's not terrible. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yep. And there's 4 scouts on the field there.
Here's the walling villager
coming forward. So the scouts are going to pave the way for this villager to come forward and wall that in. But unfortunately for him, if he walls in the cliff, there's a relic there already in Mista's base, unless he walls in a little bit further forward from that.
I think you just give him the one relic and you call it a day, and then you look.
荧幕时间心跳现在是120。哎，对不起哦，我现在真的我没办法说话。我
and look to try and steal it from him.
Yeah.
We did see that Marine Lord actually went up against, I can't remember who it was, but we saw him go up against a player that had 5 relics and yet still came out victorious. So don't count him out even if he doesn't get any of the relics.
Was it Lucifron? I think it was Lucifron. Yeah.
So yeah, it's always the potential chance, but no upgrades coming through for
现在这个气焰是上来的吧？
now coming through as well. We'll take a look.
他这个气焰是上来吧 ？Demuslim 从来没有心跳掉到100，跳到120
It's
啊
going to be early nights for him, and plenty of food in the base of Demuslim at this stage. He's going to be a happy camper, but no professional scouts coming through just yet, which is, I guess, a variation that we don't typically see.
Well, I think he wanted to prioritize getting that early night out first.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we start to see the reaction now coming through for the Mista, so dropping down a barracks. I think that's going to be the first military production building, but already we start to see counterplays coming out from the Mista. He recognizes that he is getting walled in up towards his position, and subsequently down towards the south.
Did he make another preemptive wall?
Correct.
He's making a preemptive wall so that if Demuslim, I think he needs to make this a little bit further actually, but if Demuslim wants to wall this off, he's going to have to expend a lot of energy to wall all the way around this.
Correct. Yeah, that's the idea, and I agree with you. I think it's got to go out a little bit longer than what it is at the moment. But you can see that knight going to be coming down and looking to actually deny this before it even gets up. If he's careful, if he spots it, and he does.
他围着直的，不想要让你被，不想让把你围住，把我围住。
And a little bit of confusion.
If he has this knight over here, honestly, he can just go.
我刚刚真的
wall even
我明天就会上这一片，我明天一定会上。狠狠的打了我的一巴掌，狠狠的把我打一巴掌。我刚刚中间还说这没了。
And so that is allowed, where players are allowed to chop through those walls. So that's always a possibility that he can do that, even if he looks to wall on that forest.
Okay, so early night is on the gold. We look at the res bank here from the Mista, and he's got 840 food, and he's got 800 gold as well. So he's thinking about going up to age 3, wants to get those relics in as quickly as possible. We talked about the free one in his base. He's still got a knight to be concerned about. Roaming around there, and there's another one if the wall-off doesn't come down on the left side. There's another one not too far away either.
Yeah, but take a look in the base of Demuslim. He's actually dropped to second town center. So this is a nice variation.
我那个标题，你们知道我现在在想什么吗？我们这一盘我们就给这个画面去看就好了。我跟你们。我觉得啦，可以，比如说标题就是写说史上最狂逆转胜，然后紫色标题写，比如说国外主播要吃血还是什么？哎，有什么标题啊？有什么标题可以形容刚刚那一场？
Because he's already dead.
He's dead, yeah. We'll need to call the, what's it called, the mortuary?
The
cemetery?
The morgue, the coroner.
Yeah.
The funeral home.
Yes.
The relatives, hopefully.
Let them know, unfortunately, your son, the scout, has gone. But speaking of scouts, we spot that on the north side of the base, the scout is still sitting there guarding that relic. So, Mista is still watching out. You can see he's reached the
史上最狂逆转秀吗？ 7台巨型投石机的故事。哦，史上最长逆转秀 Mista。
I don't know if he's gonna have enough time for that though. With the spearmen out there and the Mista almost having the prelate coming out soon, especially with those scouts being weak. I guess there is an early night, and the Mista has his spears on the other side, trying to secure that relic first.
And it looks like the 2 spears are going to go down, both of them very low health. And now the prelate going to have to retreat because the spears just
见证历史的一刻。
Couple more
and another one coming in.
Yeah.
He's getting the relic in. I guess it's just, can he disrupt this wall? All he needs to do is disrupt one tile of this wall. That's it.
Yeah, but now we see Demuslim coming in and doing the beautiful walling.
西亚晚上好啊，还没睡，因为在看史诗级战役啊。Mista 捡到2个遗迹哦。
And now you can see that Mista turning his attention towards these pillars, but at the same time, Demuslim's going to be able to react in time before that actually gets taken.
Hey.
Oh, there's the gap! Oh, the gap! The 2 prelates going to be making their way through. Look at that tiny little gap.
Oh, no! This is why you always click through, just in case.
Jeez. That is unfortunate. That could be game turning as well.
Oh, that's so
史上最狂
frustrating.
逆转。
You just expended so much effort on that.
8台巨头竟让主播吞下拖鞋。
Door stuck.
Is that a Drongo prelate? They get the heal up. A little bit of a delete comes through right now. Knight's going to be doing absolute damage as those spears unfortunately do go down. And now those prelates unfortunately going to get mauled along with the spears.
And he just didn't have enough spears to follow it up. There's 2 knights there. And the scouts as well. So even though he missed that hole, he should have been able to complete that wall, and he was not. So Mista
奇迹逆转胜。
once again, the villager will be tracked.
最左边有漏洞，对。哎，等一下，我真的没有办法看今天后面的。我现在其实已经在等 Beastie 打那个 Marino 了，这可能就是冠军赛。好，先不说，我现在已经强掉了，对不起。
Oh, I do apologize. He's not even
史上最狂逆转胜，然后战术鬼才，
but no, it doesn't seem like it was the case.
竟让主播吞下拖鞋。我先把它抄起来。我现在这一盘，因为看到神罗跟罗斯，就跟高山深谷，跟那个这一盘高山深谷，昨天蒙古高原其实一模一样。等一下给罗斯拖到后期，他弩炮出来就会很烦嘛，会玩很久。那现在 Mista 遗迹只有捡到1个，现在节奏不太好。我们现在先看，反正我们先省力，因为已经强掉了。
Yeah, there's been a lot of prelates lost this game, and now that Wallalol going to be coming off. Is he going to be able to get it off in time? I don't think he is.
There's no way.
Oh, it was close. I reckon that would have been half a second in it.
Yeah, well, that is a moral victory right there for Demuslim. And here we go with villagers.
英国
巨
头
Yeah, it looks like they're heading out towards the boar. There's a boar that's out there. So if we take a look from Demuslim's perspective, I'd love to know at the moment what his bounty is.
奇迹般的巨头逆转胜
It's going to put him up towards that 450 mark and really put him in the position to be hitting up towards 500. Keep in mind there are 2 boars out on the map taking out the first and the second, which by the way, take a look at the second spawn for that boar as well, right next to Demuslim's base, just on the edge, right here. Look at this double boar, very safe.
Well, it looks close, and then you realize that he has to go all the way around the cliff. You know, he can look at it from the cliff though.
And there's a wood line in there as well, so he's really got to get, he's got to get his stroll on.
Yeah.
进让
Now guarding another relic, he's got 2 relics in the cathedral now, and there's the Palace of Swabia already. Even with all of this going on, and he's going to start printing, and suddenly the advantage.
标题我想到了，
Double
就这样了。
TC from Demuslim will evaporate.
今天下播我还有力气，我一定要把这个给大家看。太扯，太扯。
To the 4th age, despite only having that 1 relic in his possession, obviously bringing back the second one now.
哎，浩宇哥，晚上好，谢谢你的
that
赞助
we do see that first。
浩宇哥，你在看4代吗？
So being taken by a warrior monk in the center of the map. 2 relics remain.
浩宇哥，你在看我4代吗？你刚刚有看到那个英国巨头吗？打眼呢。
I think there's a reason that the Civ is.
前几天看我转播，看到一半睡着。可以啊，我这一台是睡觉台啊。我这是睡觉台啊。
Yeah, yeah.
And if you fail just one of those walls,
谢谢浩宇哥的赞助。
starts to crumble.
今天是礼拜2了，我在2天转播礼拜4。2代见。
And if they do, even just 2 relics, it can be more than enough. Often I talk about the 3 legs of Exodia that is the Holy Roman Empire. Turns out Mista only needed 2.
All right.
谢谢 A 神啊，好，谢谢你，谢谢你，谢谢你，尽力而为，尽力而为。
villagers for Demuslim, which is a decent position right now, and 44. It was 44 for the Mista, and now we're going to count in another 2 minutes and see what the economies are looking like.
哇，谢谢浩宇哥，谢谢浩宇哥。不是，刚刚那一盘已经打掉了。 那个真的是，头发狂了，你知道吗？我刚刚其实真的很想睡，因为其实每天播9个小时、10个小时，这几天白天又有其他事情，真的说真的，我睡眠有点不足啊。但是，哇，振奋人心呢！刚刚那场，见证历史，第一手的。好，不耽误时间，浩宇哥先睡觉，先晚安，明天见。我们回到这个游戏里面哦，现在 Mista 到帝王了，遗迹2对3。那我刚才讲的这很可怕的事情就是，蒙古高原，昨天大家如果有看的话，这2个文明出来，其实我预测就是这样了。昨天 Linok 刷那个步兵嘛，然后突破不了罗斯嘛。那这一场有一个优势是，至少胜利都在外面，可以让罗斯出来。 但是这个是假设打到一个超级大后期。晚安，浩宇哥晚安，谢谢你，辛苦了，3点了。其他人也想睡觉，先睡啊，没关系啊。我刚才讲到哪里啊？哦，昨天那个 Linok 的那个神罗打罗斯嘛。 除了这个之外，刷那个步兵你帝王初期你刷得起来，但是你罗斯那个射手卫队马弓弩炮出来之后，罗斯神罗的这个兵种就打不赢了。
Yeah, he's getting a lot of gold, and so as
所以 Mista 现在76村对80，遗迹2对3，工程器开始在造，遗迹圣地全部都是 Demuslim 这里。
I would expect that we're probably going to be seeing mangonels, maybe a few springles, but definitely mangonels.
He's got 4 archer ranges too.
That's a great point. So
and he's taking the sacred site victory, so haha.
That's true. That's true. It's a great way to sort of supplement your gold income there. Obviously, you don't have the same Holy Roman Empire gold income coming through, but now we can see those spears looking to do a fair bit of damage out on this eastern flank.
Yep.
But unfortunately, do get cleaned up. But some effective trades there still for him. Streltsy going to be the way that Demuslim goes, and I got to say, I like this.
It took 3 in-game minutes for them to equal villagers.
射手卫队
And Mista just like a McLaren
and now
against
it's
a Camry. Yeah, it's
right on by.
It is very, very simple right now. But yeah, he's going to rock it up to the moon.
糟糕哎，现在 Mista 2个遗迹，但他出不去啊。
Villager population, the Demuslim probably on 96, and yeah, he's going to be in absolute prime position here.
Okay, so battered down the wall on the right. He has access to the middle of the map. He's just kind of building his forces before he goes out. The cavalry comes in and picks off a few villagers from the Mista. So Demuslim doing a good job. He's defending with aggression right now, and he's building up his main force behind this. So the cavalry was his opening, but behind this, like you said, Streltsy coming out and Siege as well.
3rd town center now being put down for Demuslim. I don't know how I feel about this. I guess that makes sense considering that he's obviously going to need to try and keep up with Mista, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. And now we start to see that the front gate is going to be taken down. Mista wants to get out. He wants to break out of his walls, and we do have that elite upgrade coming through. So now those beautiful golden socks coming in on those spears. They're going to be looking to try and take out these Rus Lancers or Knights as they move through.
这一盘确实啊，神罗出不来啊，窒息了，剩下7分50秒。Demuslim 发飙啊！
So there's no opportunity for the raids to come in from behind, but definitely once you open the walls from red, you need to close them back down once again, and he's gonna send a
Demuslim 发飙啊！
sacred site timer. Get the gold income out of his enemy's
高山深谷好像是 Demuslim 选的嘛？
Impressive stuff coming out from him. Really
是不
great
是啊？
of neutralizing
对啊
sacred sites.
那等一下还是会回到 Mista 的主场图啊。
I'm suspecting that we're probably going to see horsemen, spears, and bombards. This composition is incredibly difficult to deal with. This is something that Fitzy here, one of the Twitch streamers, is quite a prominent
Demuslim 等一下发飙，
Holy Roman Empire expert.
刚刚飙到120。
So essentially what you're going to be
等一下会不会又突然假设输了，飙到140？不过目前这一盘神罗出不去，现在要开这个城堡，圣地已经卡回来了，圣地卡回来了，射手卫队来了，这个步兵最怕的。要有投石车啊，可是罗斯弩炮 OP。现在后期这个兵种，昨天小李已经打给大家看了，我打不赢啊，打不赢这个罗斯啊，后期 counter。现在这边是对宝时间，但是罗斯有2个火炮。 这个Mista 不太妙。Mista 出长重炮。长重炮现在来了，只有1台而已。现在 Mista 心跳为什么又这样子这么低？46、51，他可以控制心率是不是啊 ？Mista。哦，先掉1台火炮。这边长重炮、巨头火炮，哇！
Excellent timing here for the Mista as all 3 bombards go down and the keep remains alive.
What a beautiful trade right there for Mista. That's 3,000 resources being exchanged right there.
等一下哦，3台火炮全掉，长重炮解掉1台，长枪兵解2台，城堡没掉。Demuslim 真的要飙起来咯！等一下直接站起来，直接用头锤那个。 头顶那个荧幕啊！我到底又看了什么？我到底看了什么？ 现在 Demuslim 他这个射手卫队强归强，但是他不能分散。神罗有机会分兵杀到 Demuslim 一波。
He's looking pretty strong. We still don't see any of those upgrades coming through from the high armory. Keep in mind the high armory, in addition to providing those.
哇，我今天的肠胃真的不是很舒服，我现在是胃痛还是肚子痛？我也不知道。哎，我不想去上厕所，哎，怎么办？可是这场很死尸啊，我感觉很死尸，怎么办啊？播比赛播到我的生理时钟失调了，完了。
Even the eco upgrades. Look at the comparison here between these two guys.
Yeah. There's barely a wheelbarrow in it. Mista's just looking incredibly strong right now. I'm worried for Demuslim because this is the time.
Mista 这波骑手包住吗？
Even Demuslim a little bit ahead, but the military count is where it matters.
What were you saying about the villager count? Oh, he bypasses the villager. He goes right past the Streltsy as well, but he leaves some horsemen behind. To deal with those villagers and maybe have a pincer movement here as he picks off a few from Demuslim. Demuslim was at, what, 125 there. That's going to go down as these units continue to converge. Streltsy really struggling being surrounded, but there's another group of reinforcements behind that.
Yeah, those Streltsy are incredibly strong.
然后用手机看一下，然后回来跟大家讲。
It looks like they shredded through those horsemen, that the trades were quite effective for the horsemen. Now it looks like he's going to be coming through between that stone mine, between that stoning or that mining camp, looking to turn his attention towards the Streltsy, and also going to be collapsing from the top side.
Another force coming from the other side. His positioning, his timing is immaculate here.
It is absolutely perfect. Mista looking incredibly strong, and take a look at the populations now, really starting to build up for the Mista. He's looking quite strong in this position. Now Culverin going to be coming out. With these Culverin, it's going to prevent any real siege build-up. It's difficult because you need to invest a lot of resources in your Springords before you can go into the Mangonels. But now we see horsemen out on the field.
Mista's content losing this army as long as he gets the siege.
And that's
He's perfectly fine. He already got a Mangonel, and he might actually get this bombard here. They're so slow.
He takes it out. That's a beautiful trade there from Mista. Now towards the front, you can see those spears getting in on the action, trying their best to take out the Streltsy. Spears do incredibly well against the Streltsy because Streltsy have got a lot of attack. And the spears, well, there's a lot of spears. They're very cheap units.
Yeah, the Mista at 45 military, Demuslim at 21, so he's really struggling to mass here, and he doesn't have that much food in the bank, doesn't have that much wood in the bank, doesn't have that much in the queue either.
Yeah, surprisingly not a lot of units there in the queue, but you can see that his economy, he's definitely transitioning into farms. If we can take a look back towards the base of the Mista right now, he's going to see so many farms, Dave. I'm telling you, you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands of farms. Maybe not that many, but...
Oh, there's the farm. Okay, I was going to say, I see 7. Also, what I see is so many upgrades from the Mista. Look at this. We can see from our beautiful overlay, we've got the double melee attack. We're getting the second melee armor. We've got 3 pierce. We've got 2 food eco upgrades, 2 wood eco upgrades, wheelbarrow. And then from the Muslim side, we have a very lonely food upgrade and pierce armor upgrade.
Don't forget the wheelbarrow. Demuslim loves his wheelbarrow.
Yes.
But now we've got ourselves a bit of an attack up towards the north, and you can really see that Mista is starting to take over this game. He's sieging the central position. He's sieging up towards the north. These villagers have got to be really careful because once this wall goes down, that's going to be it for those. Now we actually see, looks like a keep has been expanded out towards the south of Demuslim's base. But Demuslim, he's not going to have any of that. You can see now that horsemen going to be moving out towards the bombard. Not a lot of... there's too much smoke in there to tell exactly what's going on.
But he's going to be able to take out one bombard and might actually find another one. I would have loved to see villagers standing there ready to repair on that.
Yeah,
it was not to be. I think he got one bombard. I'm not sure if he got the second one. He's almost through that wall. He did not get the second one. The dead bodies are there to prove it.
And now we start to see the siege mass beginning to build up towards the north. You can see that the villagers are going to be called out to this position and try and heal up this wall. They're trying their best to get through it. A single Mangonel just firing down upon the horsemen, as well as that sprinkled emplacement in the wooden fortress. And it looks like that wall does go down, but the horsemen going to run away.
Yep.
Interesting. Bombards looking to try and take out this this central keep, and the villagers here just going to continue draining wood. It's interesting, Dave. It takes wood to heal a stone building.
Yeah.
Or to repair a stone building.
Yeah, you ever built a stone building?
With wood, yeah.
No, you need the scaffolding, the stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've enlightened me.
Try it.
I will. When I return to
You
Australia...
start stacking stones and let me know how it goes, all right?
But speaking of stacking stones, it looks like Demuslim also going to be stacking up another keep in the middle here. The siege army from him is looking very strong, but at the same time, look at the horsemen coming out from the Mista at this point. I'm curious to see what kind of upgrades we've got on this bad boy, but you know what? Our UI tells us already. You can see he's got that +3 PS, the +2 melee.
Yep.
I just love this UI.
Yeah, it's so helpful to us as casters, and I'm sure it's helpful to viewers who are coming back into a game and weren't there for all of the upgrades. You know, you can look away for a second. You don't have to be paying 100% attention, although I expect every single one of you to be paying 100% attention, except when we make mistakes, by the way.
Yes,
but
I'm not eating any shoes today.
It adds so much to the broadcast. We're so thankful to have it here, and the Mista is coming in now with such a big army. 72 military here, 54 military population for Demuslim, and that keep goes down.
Take a look at the villager count right now for Demuslim, Dave. What do you think about... Oh, excuse me, what do you think about this? 144 villagers.
I think he's a boomer.
I think so too. He's definitely a bit of a boomer, but look at these walls coming up, trying to delay the push as much as possible. Obviously knows he's got maximum population, but still trying to drop down as many siege workshops as possible.
Yep.
Wants to try and just get those reinforcements out quickly.
Yeah, now Mista is kind of sitting here like, where do I go? Where do I pressure? He's going to have to make a decision pretty soon.
Yeah, this is my fear that's happening right now. You can see that Demuslim, it just happened. He got an upgrade. So the upgrade, oh, take a look at the mangonels on the hill getting beautiful shots down on those bombards.
And they tickled it.
Yeah, barely. Look at that. It looks so great firing from up on that hill, though. I don't actually think the bombards or culverin can shoot back up there either.
And Mista sets up within range. he doesn't care. That bombard will go down eventually. Are these exposed bombards over here? I can't see.
They do look like they might be exposed.
Oh no! Is that 4 of them?
That's 1 bombard. That's 2 bombards. That's 3 bombards.
我回来了，怎么样啊？
Wow, you feel like the Streltsy. Next time, maybe the Streltsy need to go into the wilderness first. To scout the path
我今天的肠胃真的是不太舒服，这2天。现在战况怎么样？125村对上129，64军事对上62对3。现在 Mista 越吃越出去，这个地图控制是发生什么事情了？发生什么事 ？Mista 打出来了，而且吃到。Demuslim 这边，我是不是错过了什么 ？Mista 骑手钻到后面去，他不是有盖墙吗？怎么钻的？打进去了，打进去杀了一波。但是这个经济量看 Demuslim 是还 Demuslim 的经济量是没有问题啊。Demuslim 经济量没有问题，但是他为什么这个地图控制感觉都蓝蓝的？我也没有去很久吧，5分钟不到吧。
If he wants to, he can make Demuslim come back down. He's in through the wall over here, but he has the option to go for the.
Mista 现在已经神罗骑手狂飙。
Maybe Mista looking to actually force a sacred site victory here. Knows that Demuslim's win can
take
the game to 40 minutes, which is what we see him exactly doing right now. We enter into the 30th minute and take a look at these Streltsy just melting through all of these horsemen.
And I love the fact that he attacks on both sides at once.
Yeah, it's super smart.
So all the Streltsy go to the other side. Demuslim, there's a chance that he doesn't notice the raid coming in from the left. 但
Demuslim 他出不来是不是啊？现在以这个阵容来看的话，罗斯要组成这个阵地战加那个弩炮有点困难啊。骑手乱杀乱跑。
It's curious to me that Mista didn't go for that siege. He knew that siege was there. That's a lot of stone walls.
He is not messing around with these sacred sites here. He says, "All right, your Springolds have extra range." How did they do against stone walls exactly?
It doesn't seem that well. And look at this, starting to outpost up the middle because he's sitting on maximum population or very close to it. At least has the ability to go maximum.
Mista 今天高光时刻啊
！Start adding in outposts. Makes total sense.
You can just see like the game sense, the intelligence in his play.
Yeah.
Every single game, he's got a plan and he's trying to stick to it. And Demuslim, to be fair, Demuslim had a plan this game as well. He tried to block the relics, and then he fell back onto his second plan, which was play for the Roost late game.
Yep.
And that's where we are right now.
That's where we are right now, but you can start to see the production that Mista's got. He's got 18 horsemen being produced at this point in time. It's a huge amount of horsemen that he's got in the queue, and just immediately...
天马行空哎
So many units coming out now.
天马行空 Mista 各种化战术。
How long we've got before that sacred site victory takes place? 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go, Dave.
现在这个圣地被 Mista 这样围起来，哎，这真的很难打哦，罗斯。
So delay out on the edges and then fight.
你只要后面堆这个长重炮，长重炮。
All these mangonels getting out of position. Two of them actually going down there.
That's more siege. That's just kind of out by itself. Maybe he clicked it somewhere.
解掉 Demuslim 的工程器，这一盘就3比0哎，3比0哎。我说3比1 Demuslim， 结果是3比0 Mista， 被我奶死了。
There's no gold in the base.
Got a couple relics.
Where are his gold mines though? He's got no gold there.
No. Does he even have hunting cabins?
He's got hunting cabins trickling in, but with the exception of that, there's no gold here. This is the closest gold that he's got. So the Mista has taken complete control of the map, taken all the sacred sites, taken all the gold, and now says, "All right, bring it on. You come out of your base to face me."
Yeah, and look at these towers, even behind the wood lines here.
This is such a smart move.
It's so smart.
I don't see.
Demuslim 被强割了。
Dare I say it? But if Mista loses this, I shall eat my shoe.
That we listen, pal.
等一下采访 Mista 的时候，我一定要好好听。他对那一盘巨头。
That means absolutely nothing to me.
But he is looking like he's in a very, very good position. I will say that much.
And there's the siege sitting behind the wood line there, and that's not something that Mista can take out. But this is, you know, if you're in Mista's position, you're like, fine, set up your siege back there. Fine, take 30 seconds to take down every one of my outposts that wasn't a massive investment for me. I'm walling up the sacred sites. I'm building up my military. I'm banking so much res behind this. And eventually, when you come too far out, that's when I'm going to collapse.
Dave 说他要吃鞋子。
So much production behind this as well. I'd love to take a look from Mista's perspective and to see how much production he's actually got. Because I suspect it's probably about 30,
20?
35. Yeah.
20 in the queue?
20 in the
we
queue.
got a couple of culverins there. Looks like he's fortifying some of his towers. Cannon, is that cannon?
很爱吃血啊。
There we go. So we're actually looking. It looks like he's only got 19 production buildings. To be honest, I expected at least double that. Yeah, that's. Now, interesting to note, up towards the north, we've actually got what appears to be a stone wall that's gone up across that little entrance. Or it is slowly going up. But I gotta say, I love this nerf. Stone wall's taking a little bit longer to build.
No,
现在6分钟。
They should be a really big investment to get up and.
Demuslim 杀出来。
Fortifying some outposts here.
但是这里有很多火炮跟长重炮。
He's still creating a few. I don't know why he's at 135. I think he needs more military population, especially if he's going to all the trouble of walling in the sacred sites. I think your primary focus for population should be in the middle of the field here.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on that one, Dave. But
Mista 这里全部是骑手。
It's huge, and the composition because
长重炮骑手。 火炮。
So he wants to play into that. He wants to get the upgraded springles. He wants to get the upgraded mangonels. Mista going for cavalry here just makes so much sense. You really got to be careful because once the Muslim gets towards that critical mass, even a huge flank of cavalry just gets one shot.
20 stables in the middle here.
Take a look at those villagers getting absolutely destroyed. They went to put down that mining camp, and unfortunately the outpost has cancelled it. So now they're
just waiting to die there.
They're getting one shot by this outpost.
你没有看到那个火炮塔吗？
He's down to 65 villagers.
65 villas? What happened? Did he delete everything for one final push here?
I'm not sure exactly what's happened, but those villagers going to continue going down on this gold mine. He's looked away for a second and then all died. These
现在 Demuslim 只有57村。
That we missed or something, or maybe if there was just that many villagers over here on the gold. He's down to 55 now.
But keep in mind, every villager that he deletes
is more population.
Demuslim 只有53村。
Exactly. So that is a potential.
他现在要续最大一波的上来。
It looks like he's put down his attention towards this southern sacred site.
Demuslim 47村。
Keeps have gone down. The bombards are spreading. And looking to try and take force, but now Culverin's coming out here, Dave, looking to try and spike them.
I think everything Mista does here should be looking to buy time. He's got 4 minutes left on this. The bombards are now working on the walls. I don't know if... I think Demuslim may have had vision on that one.
现在先冲上去一波。
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but you can see that he's struggling a little bit here. The horsemen go in, just get absolutely destroyed. That boiling oil, as well as the Streltsy doing so much work. This is part of what I talked about.
哇！但是长重炮掉了，长重炮掉了，这弩炮，罗斯弩炮。
You need more queued up, Mista. You're at 120 pop. He finally queues up more horsemen. He only had 5 horsemen queued. He's added production buildings here, but he needs to get more units in the queue. And look, he deleted so many villagers.
Oh, this isn't good. He's got absolutely no wood either, so it means he's only going to be able to make units that don't cost wood.
现在还有3分钟。
Yeah, and look where he's going for wood. He sent all the villagers forward to that wood line.
现在死而无憾，神罗骑手。
Getting rid of pop was just taking the wood and letting Demuslim kill it. Yeah.
I don't think this is looking good right now for Mista. Despite the villagers being killed for Demuslim, Mista's lost a huge amount as well. And if this sacred site
现在 Mista 只有60村、59村，哇！城墙直接爆炸。
And there's the sacred site being contested here. What was up with that production from Mista or lack thereof?
2分钟，2分50秒。 2分53。
We saw he was sitting at 200.
哇！
He had 135 villages at one point, and he was putting outposts.
糟糕
Mista. In particular, but now it's all gone.
Yeah, and there's his main force of military over on that side.
2分40秒。
To anybody, but Demuslim got his units taken away.
Oh, it's the classic.
They got kited away by from the
圣地卡一下 ，Demuslim。
Timer continues to tick here.
The oldest trick in the book, yes.
他忘记了。
The AI is always very fun about that because, unfortunately, and this is probably some good feedback here for the devs.
2分20秒。
Position isn't actually a behavior of these units.
2分19。
So you have to tell them to hold position where you want them to hold position. So if you send them to the sacred site, they'll just walk off unless you tell them to hold position while they're on that sacred site.
I'm so confused what happened in this game.
为什么今天这一场那么精彩
？120 population.
Yeah. Look at the villager count now as well.
Not really losing any army whatsoever. He's got 32 villagers now. What is happening?
This is a wild series.
Is he gonna landmark rush now?
Don't say that. Don't say that, Dave. It's too soon, Dave. It's too soon.
There's no reason for that army to be over there. There's absolutely no reason for that army to be over there.
Dave, you're too good
Do
at
I
this.
have like a spidey sense?
Dave, I gotta ask you, what civilization do you
Mista 要鼻地哦。
Oh no! Don't lump me in with those people. Don't lump me in with those people.
I got a feeling you're a fire lancer kind of guy.
Mista 你要鼻地。
The ability to identify this, he is going for it again. So just as this immobile army moves out,
but the Muslims should be like, hang on a second. What's happening?
No, he's not. He's not. He's probably thinking that his enemy's just sitting back, chilling out, having a good time. You know, he's got his fan, he's got his water.
Mista.
That's so many units.
That's what he was doing this whole time. We're sitting here scratching our heads like, okay, well, he's got no villagers.
No, but why do this?
This is how you win, Dave. This is how you win.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Let's look at the landmarks. So we've got the Abbey of the King, or Abbey of the Trinity. We've got the main town center. We've got the Golden Gate that are all packed in tightly, and now we've got the High Armory. So all 4 landmarks are in the base.
Oh my God, that's like Rohan showing up to save Gondor, except they're killing all their buildings.
Has that wall in the north been walled in?
Demuslim 你自己小心啊！
He's managed to put this wall down. When it comes to the horsemen, are those elite horsemen as well?
家里有没有漏洞？冲了！
Did he click through? Is he going to go around the front of his base? I think he clicked through and he's going to go around the front of his base.
Here we go, ladies.
这里有几只？152只。
has to be sensing that something is happening here. He hasn't seen anything, and
他要让 Demuslim 在前线比较繁忙，他看不到，他想要弄这个。
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But there's a bazillion horsemen over here, and you got to get your siege back. You got to get your units back. There's no way you can wall behind this when you don't see anything from your enemy for 10 minutes. You have to think about your win conditions and your enemy's win conditions, and it's just not happening.
And immediately Demuslim is reacting. We can see that now moving moving his siege back towards his base. He's got 4 landmarks that he needs to defend. Keep in mind, as long as he gets one of them to stay alive, he should be okay.
There's so many horses here, dude. There's 5,000 HP on the high armory, the golden
Oh
gate.
my
I don't know
God!
How much it's time for math nerds to come along now as we judge the HP. The landmarks are going to go down for the 2nd straight game.
This is not happening. Demuslim is going to be hanging his head in shame. He's going to be walking out with his tail between his legs because this high armory is going down. You can just see there's so many horsemen in here.
Watch the Mista pop off after this.
Game. I mean, look at that beautiful
look
face.
Look at this. He can just take his hands off his mouse and keyboard and
wow, my God, Mista!
Welcome to N4C. This is day number 3, set
Mista!
number 3. Mista winning 3-0 up against Demuslim, and look at that face. He is a happy man.
Oh my goodness.
2 in a row. That's 2 in a row. I love to see it. That's so exciting, and it's such a unique way to win. But also, questions have to be asked about Demuslim, and we have to feel pretty bad, actually, for him because he's such a great guy, and he's such a great
Demuslim, cool.
Yes.